Shalom. I want to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakudash. Double blessing and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Back with another lesson through the Spirit. Just want to come at y'all quick with some video that I seen last night that I wanted to do a lesson on. So I'm going to go ahead and do a lesson on this. Pull out the precepts through the Spirit. And Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to those out there listening and watching. It's not going to be too long, going to be real quick, but I just want to declare fair use under the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use. Not using this video for any type of monetary gain or anything like that. This video is not monetized, meaning I will not make any money off this video. This video is for educational and edification purposes only. Therefore, YouTube, do not strike this video down. All right, with that being said, I'm going to play the video.
Last night was nothing less than doomsday for Donald Trump. You're probably wondering why. Out of nowhere, Trump suddenly appears and tells the world, I was gone for just a little while, and rumors started spreading that I'm not alive anymore, that I've disappeared, that I'm sick, that I'm finished. But here I am, standing in front of you. But the real disaster for him last night didn't come from rumors, it came from China. What happened with Trump is something beyond imagination. Just take a look at these scenes from China. Yesterday, China put its full military might on display in front of the whole world, showing America that its time is over. China sent a clear message. We can strike you whenever, wherever, however we want. This massive military parade shattered Trump's confidence. The same Trump who wanted to isolate China, well, just look now. Behind Xi Jinping stood Putin, Kim Jong-un, and a long line of world leaders showing solidarity. The CIA, US Navy, Air Force, Pentagon. They're all in shock because China didn't just show off tanks and soldiers. They unveiled hypersonic missiles, underwater drones, airborne drones, laser defense systems, AI-powered weaponry, and intercontinental ballistic missiles like the JL-3 and DF-26 that can strike U.S. bases and regions directly.
So as you can see, man, I'm going to, of course, let the rest of the video play, but I just want to get something real quick. Let me get this. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 8. It says, remove out of the midst of Babylon, which is America, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, right? Which those nations that it was talking about, it includes those nations that we just heard in the video. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, right? And those arrows that it's talking about, as it mentioned, are those intercontinental ballistic. So like in my phone, my video was interrupted by a phone call. But like I was saying, man, those intercontinental ballistic missiles are described as the arrows that is from a mighty archer because it has precise accuracy. It says, "And Chaldea shall be a spoil, all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh." Right? Next, I can go right here. The book of Jeremiah 49:13, and it reads, says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. It says, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle." And that's what these nations are doing. They're preparing to come against America, man. That's why America was on the outside looking in when it came to this meeting of global leaders and leaders in power around the world. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." No one fucks with America at this point in time right now. No one messes with Donald Trump. These other nations is making it clear that they do not want to do business with America anymore. That's over with. It says, "Thy terribleness have deceived thee," right? Their wickedness, the things that they've done has deceived them. The things they've gotten away with for years on top of years is fading away. It says, "In the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh. Also Edom shall be a desolation, a so-called white man. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and all the plagues thereof."
The same Trump who wanted to isolate China, well, just look now. Behind Xi Jinping stood Putin, Kim Jong-un, and a long line of world leaders showing solidarity. The CIA, US Navy, Air Force, Pentagon. They're all in shock because China didn't just show off tanks and soldiers. They unveiled hypersonic missiles, underwater drones, airborne drones, laser defense systems, AI-powered weaponry, and intercontinental ballistic missiles like the JL-3 and DF-26 that can strike U.S. bases and regions directly.
And that also goes into Daniel 12:4, right? Because at a point in time, and this is another reason why Americans have such great pride, is because back in the days when we were going to war, these other countries didn't have the type of military power or technology that we have. But now they've surpassed us in that field, and a lot of Americans don't realize that, or oblivious to that, or ignorant to it. So they think these are the old days where these other global countries don't have. They still have subpar military power, and that's not the case. It says the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4 says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased," right? And that's not just talking about one type of knowledge, man. It goes into many things.
These weapons are so advanced that no existing defense system in the world can stop them. Just one hypersonic strike could turn billion-dollar U.S. submarines into ashes in seconds. Imagine even Israel could be wiped off the map if China ever decided. The scariest part? China is now at least 15 years ahead of America in military technology.
Wow. Like I just said, man. I just said that, but the average American, the common folk, the normal people, they wouldn't even know that information, right? And you have to look at this as the bigger picture, man. The Lord put the spirit on these people to put that type of wisdom in their head, to put that type of knowledge in their head. That's why it reads, "Is wisdom no more in Teman," right? As wisdom departed from Edom. Roughly paraphrasing. The Chinese, the Moabites, are 15 years in advanced weapons and military power over the United States. But they'll claim, right, because I watched this in a redacted lesson last night, they'll claim that America is spending the most money out of any country in the world on military needs and stuff like that, right? Mind you, just because you're spending more money does not mean that your products are better. They spending somewhere around $900 billion on the military. But like I was saying, look at it in the bigger picture, because when these things start to come to pass, first and foremost, the glory goes to the Most High Power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, because that's judgment to the wicked kingdom. The Lord is building up these other countries so that they can take each other out and bring forth judgment unto the wicked cities. This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or were with the righteous cut off, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." All right, and that goes for America. They've plowed lots of iniquity throughout the whole world. And here's my point. It says, "By the blast of the Most High Power they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed." That's why it says, all of her plagues will come in 1 hour. Because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be, so like Jeremiah 50 and 13. I'm looking for Revelation. I'm in Revelation 18 though. That's what I'm going to go to. Jeremiah 50 and 12. "Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert." And that's the description of America after the nuclear destruction. It says, "Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh." That's what the Lord is doing, man. As these countries meet more and more, they're building themselves up more and more and building better alliances, better trust to come against Babylon the Great, America. "Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down." This place is going down, man. This kingdom, this empire is failing. It's on its last legs. "For it is the vengeance of Yahweh." This is the Lord's vengeance, man. The Lord's vengeance on this place. For what? For the saints, the Israelites, the hopeful elect. "Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her." All right, because Babylon the Great, America, has fucked over a lot of countries. All right, there is no innocence in them. "Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land." The book of Revelation 18 and 7, it says, "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow," right? Because Babylon is likened unto a virgin. There hasn't been any major wars or any type of bombings or destruction and stuff like that on this land. They've always done that on foreign land, but very soon it's gonna come to pass. Here's my point. It says, verse 8, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord, the Most High Power, Yahweh, who judgeth her."
Xi Jinping made it clear in his speech, "We are not here to start wars, but if war is forced on us, the other side will not survive." That's the level of power they displayed. And how did Trump respond? He went back to Twitter, reminding Xi that during World War II, America helped China survive against Japan with money, weapons, even soldiers. He basically told Xi, Don't forget, without us, China wouldn't even exist today. And now you're standing with Russia, North Korea, and the rest of the world against us? But let's be real.
Remember, they were just in a trade war with China this past summer.
Trump can talk tough, but against China, he always ends up looking weak. The most shocking blow for Trump was this. India stood with China. Can you believe it? The same India that Trump once pressured over malaria drugs in 2020 now sides with China because America has lost its value.
The terribleness is failing them. They're despised among the nations.
Stock markets crashing, dollar losing strength, new currency systems emerging, U.S. tariffs pushing nations away. America is no longer the center of global power. China has made it crystal clear. Taiwan will be taken no matter the cost. If America tries to interfere, these missiles will rain down. EMP strikes will shut down entire U.S. systems, blacking them out completely. So now the world faces a choice. America or China. There's no middle ground left. And Trump? He's realizing the harsh reality. The game has slipped out of his hands.
And that's because, part of that is because Moab thinks that they're going to have the next empire. They're going to rule after Babylon falls, which is false. The rulership is indeed going to go to the Israelites, right? For Jacob is for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, right? You know, and all those said perils that they were talking about, indeed are going to come upon the earth, man. Those blackouts, EMP attacks, all that stuff. EMP attack is worse than a cybersecurity attack. EMP go off, you can't use nothing at all, nothing. Literally, you cannot use anything. All right, so I just wanted to come at y'all with something real quick. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. I'm going to close it off there. Tawadi Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Makakurash. Double blessing and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And until next time, I say Shalom Israel. Shalom. And as always, we're one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing. Shalom.